I hear the neighborhood drummer sound. I feel my heart begin to pound. You say you're tired and you want to lay down and dream your dreams down. We made a promise, swore we'd always remember. No retreat, baby, no surrender. It's good. Sounds good. All right, we'll see. We might end up, we'll see what happens. We might end up drawing it in. I might sit down, and we'll have David come close. And let's give it, some people just kind of, if there's, sometimes we do it, and then we're sorry because people start coming in afterwards. But I'm going to say 5 after 7, if we're feeling like it's a small group, we're gonna circle up. Okay. It'll be like a hootenanny. I'm making an executive. Our little circle? Well, just stay where you are. Yeah, maybe. Come on, David. You have to come on down. Let's just do this. Maybe like round it off. Stand with us. Let's make it for like Stephen just came in. Let's make it for like 15. Helen is here. A semicircle? Yeah, like a semicircle. Helen is here in his signature, so she'll be there. There we go. There. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that'll work. So, and I'll get a chair. I need one without arms. That one, I'll take that one. Michael, you see what we're doing here? He's freaking out. Is this okay? We do this? Okay. Yeah, no, we can keep all this. It's not going to be much more. Unless I'm wrong, unless everyone comes pouring in. Then I'll... Here, and I'll just shift over. Look at that. That's awesome. I feel like I'm like leading a panel. Welcome, everybody, to the panel. Oh, really? Just like this? Yeah. Well, it didn't snow last week, so. Is that right? I saw that it was going to snow, but I didn't really kind of read the tea leaves. Yes, a bass, yeah. Oh, I was like in grade school. And then I stopped for a while and then picked it up again in college, camp in college. Ukulele's a little better for you? Join us, come on in. Did you do that to me, Michael? One more time now. You have to sit up here, Howard. Man, there's this really famous story about Bob Dylan at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, and he had been playing just acoustic for a long time, and then he came on this folk festival with a band, an electric guitar, and Pete Seeger, the Pete Seeger of blessed memory, himself was, at the time, was very upset that Bob Dylan was going electric, so he actually cut his cord. like kind of, sabotaged. And so I feel like that's just what happened to me just now. Michael cut my cord. Did you see that? Like he just cut my sound off. But I'm sure it was for a good reason, not a Pete Seeger reason. So we're just going to go with it, because you guys can hear my guitar, right? Yes. So I'm going to trust that the people watching on stream can also hear it. It was very jarring to me.
Can the people on stream see you, or should I move?
No, I think he's got it. They've got it. There's multiple cameras now. Since we opened up again, when you guys were coming here before we closed for COVID, we upped our technology game. Well, you've been watching on the stream, so we have multiple cameras and all kinds of views. I'm glad you like it. But I'm also glad you're here. I'm glad all of you all are here. Yeah, we're here together, and it's Shabbat. And, we're the ones in this space that are going to bring in Shabbat. They're going to actually literally Kabbalat Shabbat, receive the Sabbath. That's our role, is to receive the Sabbath that's already started once the sun set. And we are here to kind of make sure that we honor and recognize Sabbath time, that for us in the Jewish tradition begins on Friday night and lasts for 24, 25 hours until Saturday night. So snow or no snow, you guys are exactly where you need to be, and I'm glad to be with you. Helen, I was a little bit joking when I said you had to sit in this front row, because you can sit wherever you want. But it's kind of nice every once in a while to get all kind of together here. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a back of the class kind of kid.
Yeah, I get you.
But I love everyone here.
David came all the way up from the very back, so I give you a lot of credit for that. So that's what I'm talking about. So listen, it is. I ordinarily wouldn't even use the microphone for this intimate group, but it's because of the stream, just so everyone is kind of, and a few more people might drift in with the snow. It's Shabbat. We're going to begin Shabbat the way we always do, in congregations, in homes all over the Jewish world, near and far, with lighting candles. And Harvey and Jane are here. It's been a bit of time since we've seen you in person, since I've seen you in person. And going to have you guys light the candles, because it's awesome that you're here, but also because I know that this is it's a singular and tender time. This is the yahrzeit time of your wonderful grandson, Jonah, who only was 2 years old when he passed away, but he was such a delightful boy. For the little I got to know him and be with him and sing with him and then see videos. I still can see those videos you showed. Just adorable. Just a sad, awful loss. And the two of you did, and your family did what we hope people do, which is respond in holy ways. Keep his memory kindled and fresh, but also, go on with your life and in tribute to him. So you said it's been 6 years. That to me is unfathomable. So in honor of Jonah, in celebration of his short life but his long legacy, in honor of you being here, in honor of, thank you for sponsoring the Oneg in Jonah's memory. Yeah, but there's tomorrow too. We could use it for tomorrow. Would you come up and light those candles? We love you guys very much. And as Harvey and Jane light the candles, we're all on page 4 now. On the very bottom of page 4, while you're lighting, so take your time, we'll sing this Kavanah song. You got matches, you got lighters, you got your choice with lots of fire implements. So this is the bottom here. While they're lighting, let's sing this blessing, or this intention setting for lighting candles to begin the Sabbath. Hear our prayers, we sing to you. Be gracious to the ones we love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear our prayers to you. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see our way to you, and let us say Amen. And just like Carl's doing, we take in that light, we kind of spread it around symbolically wherever it needs to go. All the people and places that need extra light and love, to your family, the Baker family, in memory of Jonah, in memory of all the good people we've loved and lost, but also just all the goodness. We want to spread that around, the peace in this sanctuary, the connection here. Spread that around wherever it needs to go, to Israel, to Gaza, the streets of our cities. And then, as we say, there's always enough light to go around. And so mix it up. So some of it is your light, some of it is representing all the people that come through this holy place. And bring that light right into your heart and soul by covering your eyes and seeing the sparks of light within as you close your eyes. The candle lighting kind of allows us to remember that we have that fire, that light inside of us, as well as all around us. So let's welcome in Shabbat with Harvey, with Jane, with each other, with all the people watching on the stream, with the bracha, the blessing that begins Shabbat with this mitzvah, this sacred deed of lighting candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Take a look around and say Shabbat Shalom to the people that are here, to the Jane and to Harvey. There you go. You can wave to the camera. Shabbat Shalom to the people watching on the stream. Shabbat Shalom to Chelsea and Michael out there. I see you've restored my sound and my guitar. Appreciate it. By the way, that story I told you from Newport Festival, it's been made into a movie, and playing Bob Dylan is Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, true story. So,
Linda Nicholson was at that same concert.
was Linda Nicholson there? That's amazing.
She was there when he first showed up at Newport.
That's amazing.
He was off in a side area.
Yeah.
And she was one of the people that sat around while he played. She said there were only like 30 people.
Oh,
So it was when he started.
wow. How come she never told me that story?
Well, I don't know.
Will
Now that she knows that
whisper
you
the
know
name Bob Dylan. Go.
Okay. All right. All right. I thought I would do I know that. So what I thought I would do with the candles like fully aglow, thanks to Harvey and Jane. I want to read you one of my favorite passages about Shabbat. I read this often on Saturday morning before we sing Vishamru, but I rarely get a chance to read it on a Friday night service. It's about Reb Zalman, of blessed memory, Reb Zalman Schechter Shalomi, who was a wonderful rabbi, passed away, I think in 2014. He was known as the guru of the Jewish renewal movement. And he was born in a pretty observant household in Poland, and he was a Lubavitcher. He was a Chabad rabbi, and then he kind of charted his own course, shall we say, and combined a lot of different expressions of Judaism and other spiritualities within his sort of really deep soul. And he ended his life. The last years of his life were in Colorado. This gives you a little indication of who Reb Zalman was. He was the wisdom chair, which is a pretty cool job, at the Naropa Institute. The Naropa Institute is a Buddhist college in Boulder, Colorado. But they had this rabbi as their wisdom chair. So, pretty awesome. So this is something that he wrote about Shabbos in Colorado. So imagine, the snow, that kind of helps bring us to Colorado a little bit. Reb Zalman said, our ideal picture of the Sabbath is one in which not just Jews, but the whole world can find deep rest and re-ensoulment. Once in the early 60s, I was presiding over a Sabbath celebration for B'nai B'rith in Estes Park, Colorado. By the time Shabbos came in, the wide open spaces of Colorado had started to speak to me. And I sang the Kiddush, the prayer over the wine at the end of, actually when you have Shabbat dinner, at the end of services, to the tune of Home on the Range. Figured you guys would like that. A few people giggled, but most of them understood. I wanted the Kiddush to resonate with the feeling of where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. That is the kind of feeling we wish for the whole world on Shabbat. So there you have it. I saw that. I was here, and when I went to my car to go home for a couple hours, right when the sun came shining in. All right, why don't we turn all the way to page 10? Page 10. We'll call each other prayer in a minute. We'll all stand up, those that are able. Usually, not yet. Hold on. That's all right. Usually I'm standing and I tell everyone they have to stand, and I don't know exactly what that's like, but tonight I'm with y'all. Like, I'm going to have to stand too, so I'll feel it. Steve, you can stay seated if you whatever you feel comfortable doing. So this is about calling each other to prayer. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a minion. Man. What's that? Oh, you count? You're good, Steve. We have a minion, so not that we wouldn't have done it without one, but it's nice to know we kind of have a minion, and plus all the people watching. So this is about calling each other to these moments of prayer to begin Shabbat. And I have something I wrote about calling for this moment. Call forth a moment of earth, trees and rocks and mountains and sand and field. Call forth moments of water, oceans and streams and rain and waterfall and swimming holes. Call forth moments of air, wind and song and breath and breeze. Call forth moments of fire, candle like the Shabbat candles, sun, campfires, lightning. Call forth values like compassion, joy, peace, and love to yourself and to all beings, north, south, east, west, above, and below. Let these elemental images and these godly qualities ground us as we open our hearts in prayer. Now we can stand. Oh boy, okay. Got it. Okay. A little bit of machination here. Yeah, I see it. Thank you, Steve. I see it. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, we're going to sing the Baruch, and there's a little bit of a kavanah before that as well that we're going to sing this time. We've been doing this on services the past year or so. The words to the kavanah are, am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? And then we'll sing the Baruch, which is, of course, on page 11. Yada lie, lie, lie. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lie, lie, lie. 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach Adonai Hamevorach Le'olam Vahed Le'olam Vahed Yada lai 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 Yada lai lai. Let's stay standing actually and head right to the Shema. I'm going to say that not too many days ago we started a new Jewish month. And it's an interesting one. And they're all interesting on their own merits, but this is Adar 1. So it's a leap year, right? We have a leap month, February is a leap year, leap month. But in the Hebrew calendar, we also have periodically a leap year where we add an extra month, and the month we add is an extra Adar. And the reason we do it is because we have a lunar calendar, and our holidays need to be in season. Passover needs to be somewhere in the spring, and Rosh Hashanah needs to be in the fall, etc., etc. And with the lunar calendar, the way it works, if we weren't to have that leap year, the holidays would be all over the place. And actually the case is in Islam. Islam has a lunar calendar as well, but they do not have a leap year. And therefore that's why, Ramadan, the holy day of Ramadan, can be any season of the whole year. Sometimes it's spring, summer, winter, fall. But in Judaism, it was important for us to have those holidays attuned to their season. And so we add this Adar. And one of the, ramifications of that is that we have a little extra time between Tu B'Shvat and Purim, because Purim is always in Adar. And so Purim would be coming, right? The middle of the month, the full moon of Adar. But in this case, Purim gets pushed to Adar 2. So when the moon is full in a week or so, there'll be 1 month to Purim, which means you all ought to expect a much more creative Purim than normal, because we have extra time to plan for it. And so I wanted to give you a little bit about the calendar, and it's nighttime that we really think about our calendar, since it's when the moon is out. And actually I saw a couple nights ago, I'm not sure what it's like tonight, there was a really clear night a couple of nights ago where the moon was beautiful, this beautiful sliver of the new Adar 1 moon. So a little bit of background about where we are in the calendar. And now we prepare to sing the Shema together. Our call this time to oneness, right? To our connection. In a group like this, we can really feel our connection to each other. All we have to do is look at each other's faces, and we don't even have to know each other all that well to kind of connect, right? To feel the humanity in each person. And then we have to kind of realize that if we can feel that oneness with each other, then we have to extrapolate that we can feel oneness with people that aren't here, but also people maybe that we'll never know, people that are really different from us, that live in different places, that practice different religions, that look radically different from us, whoever, wherever they are. We truly are connected, and certainly all of us, including society, loses sight of that. We do. It's just the division is unfortunately in some ways more the rule than unity, and yet we remind ourselves at services every time we say the Shema that that unity does exist, and we ought to be striving to live that way as much as possible. So I invite everyone to take a deep breath. Breathing in all that's high and holy about the moments we are privileged to share with one another. Feel your connection, your visceral, utter connection to each other, to all humanity, to nature itself, to God. We are connected. That's what the mystics believe. There should be no separation between the divine and ourselves. We are one. We are one. We are one. So let's together breathe in that truth and breathe out the words of Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Let's all be seated. Welcome, Becky. Welcome. All right. Yeah. Now we're way more than a minion. Becky's here. All right. So after the Shema, let's turn to the very next page, page 16. The words actually that follow the Shema in the Torah. Shema is one of those prayers that was sort of lifted, rightfully so, right from the Torah. Following Shema in the scroll in Deuteronomy are these words. Once we realize and recognize and call out to that oneness, how do we make sure that we pour love into that whole? Not H-O-L-E, but W-H-O-L-E. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meotecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi netzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha v'aderech ושוקבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפו בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, Lihio lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen. Next page, 18. Michamocha, the first of two blessings of redemption after the Shema in the evening. In the morning, Michamocha is left alone, but in the evening it gets joined by another prayer we'll sing in a second. But for now, Michamocha, this song of liberation, of ecstatic worship, upon the Exodus, the literal Exodus from the Torah. These are among the words that were sung at the sea, in the wonder, in the amazement that all of a sudden a group of slaves had been freed. And there was a lot of work to do. There still is a lot of work to do to make justice in a society that really goes beyond masters and slaves. But in the moment, they just wanted to sing and celebrate. And so we too have a lot of work to do. And Helen is here to help us kind of further that work. I'll talk more about that in the announcements. So many of you do so much good work when it comes to justice and compassion and making the world a better place. But this is a time to sort of to celebrate the victories, even though we know there's work to be done. And so along with the former Hebrew slaves, we too sing in ecstasy a song of freedom, a song we hope that will bring liberation to all people. Michamocha. Lai 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 ya lai la lai ya lai 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 ya lai la lai ya lai 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 ya lai la lai ya la lai la lai 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 ya lai lai ya lai ya lai la lai ya la lai ya lai 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 ya lai lai ya lai ya lai 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 ya la lai ya lai 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 Michamocha ba'elim Adonai Michamocha neder b'kodesh Nora tehila Hosei fele Hosei fele Yai lai lai yai lai yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yayim loch le olam va'ed, yayim loch le olam va'ed, yayim loch le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai. Amen. Page 20, please. There we go. Page 20. So this is that other redemption prayer that we sing in the evening. A little bit more of a quiet, private redemption. Less about society than about the individual and our hopes for redemption for ourselves. We can always be a better self. And when we're down or out or in between, that we always have hope. We hope to have hope. I wanted to talk while I'm strumming these chords a little bit about the Torah portion. Because there's an amazing connection. So we talked about it Wednesday at religious school, right, Lisa? An amazing connection between this portion, Truma, and this very place we're sitting at right now, this synagogue, this Makom Kadosh, this holy place. So Truma is where we start to, in the book of Exodus, the slaves have gone free and they're in the desert wilderness with Moses and Miriam, and the Torah tells us hundreds of thousands of wandering Jews. And this is, in this moment, we receive instructions, a blueprint to build a tabernacle, a holy place right there in the desert, one that is portable because the people are on the move. And right at the beginning of this portion, the people receive the instruction that all those, and this is really important, all those with willing hearts, it says it right there in the portion, are supposed to bring grifts, not grift. That's another story. Gifts for the construction of the tabernacle. Those gifts are trumot, the plural of truma. It's one of the words for gifts. All those with willing hearts. And then, not too much later, after a description of what people can bring, and it's like gold and silver and dolphin skins and all kinds of stuff. It must have been an amazing tabernacle with all those materials. But this is the key. Once it's all done, the Torah tells us, "Va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham." Va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti li b'tocham. That a sanctuary, a mikdash, a holy place, will be made so that the divine spirit, God's spirit, so that the indwelling, the visceral presence of godliness, the Shekhinah, can be felt. A place where you can really feel the presence of God and holiness and meaning and love. So what does that have to do with this synagogue? You can probably guess. But I was around here, some of you were too, before this building was built. And I could see it. Look at that church right there. That's the Unitarian Church. That's where we lived. That's where CRC's home was. And it was a beautiful home for us. And we made really lifelong friends with the folks of the Unitarian Church. But we got bigger and bigger and bigger. All appearances to the contrary. We did. And we needed to create a We need to construct our own sanctuary, our own holy place. And luckily enough, this land right across the street from the mother ship was available. And the conversation started. It's CRC, so the building didn't start until there was a conversation. The conversation started. Should we build a building? What are the challenges? What are the possibilities? And this Torah portion was a huge part of that conversation. I remember because I was at meetings in those early days. We're talking mid-90s. And the verses I just read to you were recited at services and at meetings, inviting all those with willing hearts to bring gifts to create this building, to make sure that we knew what we were doing was we were building a sanctuary so that divine presence could be felt, just like it says in the Torah. And here we are, we did it. We created this shelter of peace. And there's the link between this prayer and this building and this portion, because while our congregation is called Central Reformed Congregation, the building has a name. It's right there above the door, Sukkot Shalom. We built a shelter of peace. And sure enough, that sentiment, that name comes from this prayer. We're going to sing it in just a second. Sukkot Shlomecha, a shelter of your peace. That's the story. And so here we are. We built a holy place. I hope you feel it every time you're here. I hope whether there's hundreds here or tens of people, that the beauty and the holiness and the love that we created just by being here permeates your time spent at this synagogue. I hope that this sanctuary, this mikdash, is always a place of welcome, of peace, of connection, of inclusion, of meaning and purpose and love. A place where the Shekhinah, the divine presence, truly, truly lives. Amen. Take this soul, living in my skin and bones. Take this soul and let it sing. Yahweh, Yahweh, always pain before a child is born. Yahweh, Yahweh, it's always dark before the dawn. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu leChayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu leChayim. Allow us to lie and rise in peace, in shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace, shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace, shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu leChayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu leChayim. All right, here we go with a burst of hope, a burst of optimism, a burst of faith, despite all of our challenges, despite all of our problems and our sadnesses. There has got to be a part of us that believes that things can get better. Those slaves, those Hebrew slaves, they thought that was their lot in life forever, and the generations after them. But lo and behold, the story tells us redemption came, freedom came. Same could be true of our journeys as well. I hope and pray that just by being here, this shelter of peace, things can be a little bit better for you just now. And you can believe it when you sing with me. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. And everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Ufros aleinu sukkot, sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a sukkot shalom. There it is, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace for all creation, for everyone and everything that dwells on earth. Let it begin right here in our sanctuary and in sanctuaries throughout the world, bringing everyone and everything closer to peace, to wholeness, to shalom. Amen. 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 Okay. We're going to turn now to page 23. We're going to stand up again if you're able to. If you want to, really. I always wonder, do you guys wonder? Actually, I'm going to ask Harvey and Jane. I don't know, obviously everyone can do what they want, but at home when you're watching, that's fair. That's fair. I wonder if there's anyone that there might be some people. Yeah. I mean, I don't judge. I am not, that's fine. But Jane came out with that really quick. Oh yeah, you say stand, we're just sitting on the couch, Randy. Oh yeah. It's fair, it's good. All right, well, we're going to stand now, to begin this next section of prayers. This section on Friday night, it's become our custom to start out loud, singing what we're about to sing, and then a little bit of silent prayer time. Take your time, put in your deepest, most heartfelt longings and prayers, whatever it is that you need to put out there into the universe. And then when you're done, you can have a seat, and when we're all seated, we'll do one more prayer together. And then we're really, because I already did the teaching as part of Hashkivena, we're going to get towards the conclusion of the service. But for now, another deep breath. There it is. And we're going to sing this section of another psalm. I call the psalm of opening. It uses that verb for open in Hebrew, patach. And the verse literally says that our mouths should be open. That's kind of what prayer is, right? Our mouths are open with holy words, with meaningful words, with good words. I think that's important, but I also think of it now as a prayer, a psalm of opening, not just our mouths being open, but our hearts being open and our minds being open, our souls, our arms open to welcome each other. An opening, a moment of pure, unadulterated opening. It goes like this. Yalai lai 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 Adonai. Yalai lai 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 Sefatai Titai. Yalai lai 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 Ufi Yagi Tehillah. Yai lai 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 Adonai. Yai lai 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 Sefatai Titai. Yai lai 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 Ufi Yagi ופי תהילתך. יא לי 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 אדוני, יא לי 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 שפתי תפתח. יא לי 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 ופי תהילתך. יא לי 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 אדוני, יא לי 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 שפתי תפתח. יא לי 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 ופי תהילתך. יא לי 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 אדוני, יא לי 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 שפתי תפתח. יא לי 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 ופי תהילתך. All right. Oh, hello. Here we are. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? It's before we do 31. Let's go to page 30. We haven't done this for a while. This is the part of the Hoda'ah prayer of gratitude, and just took a little snippet of that, very little, 3 words from a much longer prayer, and boiled it down. Modim anachnu lach. We give thanks to you. You know, you being the eternal you, the collective you, maybe. Whatever you think about when you think about God or godliness. Thanks, gratitude. And what we've done a little bit through the years is we've chanted those 3 words. And if anyone has a spontaneous expression of gratitude, of something that you're thankful for in this moment, that you put it out there, say it, express it. The idea being that what you're grateful for might help us find what we're grateful for, and your blessings then said out loud become our blessings. You know, the things that bless you can bless us. I always say that if nobody pipes up with a reflection of gratitude or an expression of gratitude, then we'll just have some silent time. It'll be more like a Quaker meeting than a Jewish service, right? But I just kind of felt like with this intimate group in the sanctuary, if anyone felt like they wanted just to express something they're thankful for right now. So let's chant first, and then we'll do this. We'll see. So first of all, Modim anachnu lach.
Two words of gratitude. One is for my wonderful surgeon,
Amen.
and also for my nurse, Bonnie, at home, who's put up
Oh, yeah.
6 weeks now.
Yeah.
Because she has been, I did something when the Lord put us together.
Uh-huh.
Somehow I did something right to recognize that. So she's been
Beautifully said. And we are grateful that you're back and on the path to recovery. Thank you. Amen. Modim anachnu lach. Oh, nice. Oh, good. Yes, that's a blessing. Will you give them my love? I've known those two for a long time. I've known your kids for a long time. Will you give them my love? Yeah, tell them I say hello. Amen. Thank you, Carl. Modim anachnu lach. Jane.
Our grandchildren?
Your grandchildren. Give us their names. We already heard Jonah of Blessed Memory's name, so Leora.
And
Ezra. I did Ezra's naming ceremony. I remember. Ezra's here at how old is Ezra? At the Nest. Oh, then I sing Shabbat with them every once in a while. Oh, I have to make sure I connect with.
curly hair.
Okay. I got it. Curly hair. Okay. Amen. For your grandchildren. Modim anachnu lach. Is there one more? Go ahead, Becky.
Stepson is growing up.
Oh, your stepson.
No,
Yeah.
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But he's just showing signs of maturity
Yeah.
and responsibility, and I'm so proud of him.
Love that. It's a journey. It's a journey. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I'm sure all of you had something inside of you that, what you were whispering to yourself, what you were thankful for. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you, those I know really well, those I'm just getting to know. And thanks for, I'm grateful that we had a service tonight, Thank you. I was really fighting it. We were closed here for 2 years during COVID, and it was important that we were closed because of public health. But we did our services at the rabbis. Some of you remember we were home, and everyone is at their homes. And there was some people that were saying, well, maybe we should cancel tonight, and we could go back to the Zoom days. And I was like, no, I want to be here. And I called Michael in the booth, and I said, you going to make it tonight? He said, I'm going to make it tonight. So, it's just nice. It's nice that we did this, and appreciative. So one more prayer in this section. We get a little bit of a kind of options in our prayer book for the last prayer of this section. I'm going to go with page 31. And Olam Chesed Yibaneh, a prayer that says we should build the world with chesed, with kindness, with grace, with love, with everything good that we can muster. And it's a heavy lift, but little by little, maybe we can do that. So there's Hebrew, there's English. Olam, just 3 words. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. And then a little bit of English you'll see in a second. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yada. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. This needs a capo. I'm sorry. So much better. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yada la, yada la. There you go. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yada la, yada la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yada la. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Yada. I will build this world from love. Yada yada. And you must build this world from love. Yada yada. And if we build this world from love, yada die die die, yada die die, yada die die. Then God will build this world from love. Yada die die die, yada die die, yada die die. Olam chesed yivane. Yada die die die, yada die die, yada die die. And olam chesed yivane. Yada die die die, yada die die. And olam chesed yivane. Yada die die die, yada die die, yada die die. Olam chesed yibane. Yada die die, yada die die, yada die die. Olam chesed yibane. Yada die die die, yada die die. Oh, man. I think I would like to just sing a little bit of the healing prayer. Just feel that we don't always on Friday night because it's often sung when the Torah is read on Saturday morning. But I talked to someone today, a friend Ellen, whose husband Gary has been in and out of the hospital. Gary Sewell, and he's back in the hospital. So I wanted to and he's right up the road there, at Siteman. So I want to send prayers to Gary. And Terry Moses, who's often here on Friday night, could use some healing. Merle Freed. What's that? Merle? Yeah, Merle's doing good for sure. Joe Kaplan's on our list, and she was here at the bar mitzvah last Saturday. It was good. She was in a very bad accident, hit by a car actually. But Joe was with us for Seth's bar mitzvah last Saturday. It was good to see them back. I went and visited today or yesterday someone's grandmother in our congregation, whose grandmother is 107 years old. It was. It's a really whole story, but I don't want to tell the whole thing. Her name is Muriel, and she's great. I thought I was going over there to say healing prayers for her, but it was really just to have a conversation with her. Her great grandson had his bar mitzvah here, and her great-granddaughter had her bat mitzvah from home during COVID. But Muriel's 107, so, just so she stays well. She's in a study for super-agers. Had you ever heard of that, super-agers? Yeah, so God willing, we all could be super-agers with Muriel, Pretty amazing. So just wanted to think about all those people. Anybody else, any names for healing? Okay, Darla. Okay. Okay. Well, we're praying for Darla. Maybe she's watching. Thank you, Carl. Anybody else?
My niece, Maggie.
Maggie.
She's in her 30s and she's dealing with cancer.
Oh, refuah shlema.
My neighbor Troy, who's in hospice for cancer,
Yeah.
and my friend Abria, who is also recovering from cancer.
Prayers for them. Thank you.
I'm actually going to mention my wife again. She's going to have surgery in March
So much surgery,
with C1 in her neck.
Bonnie. Refuah shlema, a complete recovery. We were here, and then I want to add. I'm thinking about some people. Maybe I won't say their names, but think about the people, all those people that were named, and people in your hearts that we want to dedicate this healing prayer to. It also reminds us that we can be agents of healing. We might not all of us might be doctors or medical professionals, and thank God for them. But we also can bring, in Kansas City. Oh boy, children, unfathomable. Yeah,
I remember my friend Jane Conklin.
we're going to do Kaddish in just a second. That's right. Oh, healing. Oh, good, okay. You said remember, so you're thinking of for your friend. Sorry, thank you. I just want to make sure.
And all the people, Israelis and Palestinians,
Yeah.
who are suffering so much in this,
Horrible war, excruciating, and thinking about the hostages as well. That God somehow are staying okay, and two hostages were released, were rescued, and it's just amazing all these months, But you're right, for everyone that's affected by all war, but this is the one that is kind of foremost, I think, in many of our minds and hearts. We care about them all, but yes, for Israelis, for Palestinians, for some way to get to justice and security so there could be peace. Okay, that's a big heavy lift too, but for healing. Misheberach Avotenu Mikor Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed is the Holy One who teaches us to find and bring ways of bringing healing to those who are ill. And let us say, Amen. All right, so let's see. A few announcements and then Kaddish. And then Kiddush. But I think I have some announcements. I do. So this is obviously for us here and for those people watching on stream, making sure everyone knows that the Oneg tonight and probably tomorrow too, sponsored by Harvey and Jane Baker in honor and in loving memory of Jonah Baker, who is with us. He really is. We miss him, but he's also with us. And then tomorrow morning, there's services at 10 o'clock. You're welcome to come on back if you'd like. And Becky is sponsoring that Oneg as well.
That's right.
So thank you, Becky. The recovery of your best friend's husband, Ed. Amen. All right. And also, if you're interested, if you want to spread the word, if you want to sponsor an Oneg like Becky is, like the Bakers, let us know. Contact Gary at the office, and we'll fill you in on what that takes. That goes for everyone watching as well. And then, I want to announce why Helen is here, because Helen is part of CRC and it's Shabbat. But also, you might have read in our newsletter that this Shabbat, tonight, tomorrow, and I think probably into the future, not every Shabbat, or maybe every Shabbat,
I'm gonna try for every Shabbat.
as many as possible. What's that?
Through May.
Through May, right. So I'm going to just read it. The Ashrei Foundation and CRC are partnering with Missourians for Constitutional Freedom on a ballot initiative to restore reproductive rights across our state. The Missouri laws allow the people of Missouri to add to our Constitution by popular vote of the people. To get the initiative on the ballot requires the signatures of 170,000 registered voters from across the state. For those interested in learning more about reproductive rights or signing the petition, we'll have a table set up by the Oneg that Helen will be at after services. So if you haven't already signed the petition, if you want to, obviously it's totally up to you. And CRC as a congregation is a congregation that supports reproductive rights and pro-choice and abortion. We're a member of a religious coalition of interfaith congregations that favor reproductive rights, and it's not a prerequisite to be a member of CRC, and we have people with all different sort of ideas and opinions and thoughts on that issue. But if you are so inclined, the reason we have the petition here is because as a community, that's something that we have been vocal in supporting. So sign the petition. come on back to CRC, those that are watching, on most Saturday mornings and Friday night, and you'll be able to sign the petition, and we'll be part of hopefully getting that initiative on the ballot. Anything else you want to add to that?
I just wanted to add that, the legislature will do everything they can to throw out signatures, so
Yeah.
it's 170 that we need, but we're looking to collect
Ah,
300,000.
Yeah. So you hear that? So I'm going to make sure so that the people at home, the idea is that, there's always an effort to disqualify signatures for different reasons. And so the effort really is more than 170,000. It's going to be more like 300,000, double that number, so that it compensates for those signatures that are inevitably thrown out for different disqualifying reasons. So all the more reason to, if you support this, to sign it, to spread the word, and that's that announcement. The other one about coming here is that it's still February, so we're still participating in winter outreach. We've been collecting since December. Winter clothes, I've already brought 2 huge carloads over to the winter outreach office that distributes winter clothing to people in shelters and people who choose to live on the streets. And there's still a few more weeks. I'll do one more delivery if there isn't anything in the barrels right now. There might be stuff in the closet, but next time you're here, bring some winter clothing, and we'll, because obviously winter's still here, as we were kind of made aware of today. So those are the main announcements. There's always lots of classes that you can look into, adult education classes. There's opportunities to be involved in Tikkun Olam. And of course, Purim, even though it's been a month delayed because of leap year, Purim's coming. There'll be this full moon, and then a moon later, it'll be Purim. So we got lots of stuff planned. I'll start announcing that when we get to March. I think the first night of Purim is March 23rd. That's when we'll read the Megillah in our often wacky, zany, crazy way. Those are the announcements. So now I want to make sure that we hear the names of the people that are being remembered on this Shabbat during Kaddish. We want to honor those people who are mourning. So I'm going to ask those of you who are here that would like to say a name, either of a person who this is their yard site, the anniversary of their death, or whether you're in your year of mourning. So ask you to stand or raise your hand. Go ahead, Carl. Sue. Can't believe it. For Sue, who we've been saying Kaddish for with you, and every single Shabbat I say her name. 9 months, so of blessed memory. Thank you, Carl. Anybody else here? Yeah, Helen.
It's my mother's 7th yard.
Your mother. What was her name?
Helen also.
Oh, it was Helen. Oh, how beautiful. Well, may her memory always be a blessing. Thank you. And of course, for Jonah, beautiful, sweet little Jonah. Give us folks my love too, will you? Okay.
And you helped us so much.
Well, it was an honor. I mean, it's just,
Also, I'd like to remember my friend Mary McKee.
of blessed memory. Thank you. Chelsea, do you have a name? Go ahead.
My grandmother, Lottie Friels, and there are a bunch of names, or there are a few names.
Okay, so your grandmother. Thank you, Chelsea. Michael, what other names?
We're remembering Alexei Navalny, Kathy DeWinter, Mary Couch, Eileen Ehrlich, Janet Amiton, and Daryl Schmidt.
Thank you. So now let's all stand together. Put my guitar away. Because we want to support our mourners, of course, but also because we're remembering people as a congregation, as a community. So I'm going to start the process here of saying these names. These are yard sites that we're recognizing this weekend and beyond. Andrew Engster, very young man. Barbara Lawrence, Barry Wilson. Betty Nidas, Dorothy Neustadt, Elmer Wagman, who is Paul Wagman's father, Joseph Novak and Carrie Gelman, Lee Sontag, that was Ruth Wax's father, Madeline Baislin, Sylvia Zander, Also, David Grebler. Oh, man, David was an amazing person. Died too young. He was Serena, Josh, and Joel's father and Debbie's husband. David Portman, Carol's father-in-law, and we should have added Carol into our healing prayers. I'm going to try to visit her tomorrow. Greg Fox, Steve and Nancy's brother and brother-in-law, and they have a bar mitzvah coming up in their family. Harriet Dardick, John Ulig, Kathy DeWenter, Mary Brandt and Monty Ross, Mickey Harris, Prue Gershwin's brother, Benjamin Rosen and Bernice Gintalis, Betty Renard, and Clara Sitterman, Harvey's mom, Frida Wormser, Marcy Horwitz, Mary Bemel Pollock, that's Sharon's grandmother, Aunt Shavy, Bob Hollander's aunt. I wish that Bob could be with us, you know. But we're sending him love. Sylvia Chervitz and Vivian Becker. So Vivian is John Becker's mother and Leanie Becker's mother-in-law of blessed memory. And Leanie texted me that they were going to be out of town, but wanted me to make sure that we said Vivian's name at services. And then this week coming up, Esther Adelstein, Cheryl's grandmother. There's Jonah Baker on our list of blessed memory, your grandson. Bud Holtzman, Louis Margulis, Susan Balk's father. And I heard the name on the stream, but Janet Ameton, Larry's mom. We're thinking about you, Larry. Jerome Jerry Scissors, Leah Larson, a wonderful member of CRC. Michael Kraft, Steve Kraft's father. I think Michael Kraft might have been one of my first hospital visits when I first got here 25 years ago or so. Michael Steinbaum, young husband and father. His yahrzeit is Wednesday. Was a good buddy of mine, and I miss him. Richard Weiss, Dick Weiss's father. Herbert Davison, Dan's father. Jeannie Breeze, the wonderful peace activist and friend of CRC. Maggie Mackel, and Rick Ehrlich, who was Eileen Ehrlich's husband, and Eileen just passed away. Just had her funeral on Monday. So those are the yahrzeits, and now I'm going to read the more recent deaths in our congregation. Eileen Ehrlich, Diana and Carrie's mother. Hank Davenport, Chief Hank, Chief Police Officer of Olivet. Ellen Jean Vicker and Rick Isserman. Geraldine Schiller, Shirley Londy, Myra Levine, Scott and Lisa's mother. Gina Rotman, a member of CRC. Janice Garbayo and Judy Wigder Krivet, that's Diane Katzman's mother. Yakir Hexter, another grandson, Chris Hexter's grandson, who died, he was an IDF soldier, died in battle. Rose Waldman, Roxanne Holloway, Carol Liebson and Miriam Weintraub, June Cohen and Dennis Epstein, Jeff Jappa, a father of 4, who died in a car accident, Sam Bernstein and Jody Rich, Marlene Eisenstein, who used to sit right there always, Roger Goldman, the founder of CRC, really, Gary Morris and Sarah Kessler, Andy Poltman, Brian and Paula's brother, Tovia Siegel, Sarah's mother, my mom, Linda Randall, Aaron Coleman, Matt Blickenstaff, Sue Smith, Moisey Shopper, Bunny's husband and a wonderful psychologist in our community, Stephanie Buchler, Toby's sister, Marcia Wolfsey, and again, Leah Larson at her yahrzeit. We remember them all, those who died in wars in Gaza and other places, those who have been killed by violence and shootings that we can hopefully someday curtail, make better.
The man who died in the Russian gulag.
He was named in the stream, that's right. Alexei Navalny. Yes.
May I add in that this week is the yahrzeit of my grandmother,
Oh, of course.
Rosalind Bruce Huxley.
Rosalind Bruce Huxley.
And she died one day after her 104th birthday.
Wow, so she was a super ager too. 104. God bless. God bless. Thank you. Thanks for adding her name. So many names of so many good people, each name a world in itself. We have them all in our hearts as we say the words of our remembrance prayer, the Mourner's Kaddish, on pages 41 and 42. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon v'yom echon, v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'galal v'zman kari ve'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mivrach le'olam olmei almaya, yit barach v'yishtabach, v'yit pa'ar v'tchomam v'yit naseh, v'yit hadar v'talei v'talal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. I invite you to put your arms around each other, over each other in blessing. We never leave this sanctuary without giving each other a blessing. Then I'm going to sing our way. I'll lead you guys out into the Oneg room. It won't take too long for us all to get out there. We'll make the blessings for Kiddush and Motzi. Please stay if you can and have some Oneg, courtesy of Harvey and Jane. If you haven't signed the petition and you'd like to, Helen will be making sure that happens. And we'll have a little after-service connection to each other. A little kibitz. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. So I'll put my arms around you guys. Thank you, Becky. There you go. Here goes. Stan, want to come over here? All right. Our little blessing circle. This must look good on the stream, doesn't it, Michael? Thank you to Chelsea and Michael. Love you all. Yivrechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you now and always. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. And may all that light that we sing about and pray about, may that light be part of your heart and soul and fill you with sweetness and warmth and love. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may we all be gifted with the greatest blessing of all, the blessing of shalom, of peace and wholeness in our hearts, in our homes, in our communities, where we work, where we go to school, where we play, yes, that's right, where we celebrate, the streets of our cities, all over our country, and God willing soon, may there be more peace, more shalom throughout the whole world as we say amen. And Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom. So here we go into the Oneg. Shabbat shalom, folks on the stream. Here we go. All right. Thanks for coming.